Believe it or not, Assetto Corsa was first released around 10 years ago, and it's still one of the most popular racing sims today, featuring some of the highest current player counts of any racing game on Steam. So why is a racing game that is surely outdated by now still so popular? Well, a big part of that is due to the modding community. Of course, Assetto Corsa delivers some of the very best driving physics of any game to date. In this video, I'm going to run through some of the very best Assetto Corsa mods in 2023. These are the mods that you should look to install first, with some of these Assetto Corsa mods completely changing and improving core elements of the game. But why should you install Assetto Corsa mods? The sim racing community and modders have utilised the outstanding sim racing platform that is Assetto Corsa to create thousands of mods to improve the overall AC experience. You can find mods for a huge variety of modern and historic cars that add hundreds of cars into the game. Many of them have been professionally created and are incredibly detailed recreations of the real world car they're based on. As well as car packs, there are also hundreds of track mods for Assetto Corsa, and this expands upon the base game tracks, allowing you to race and recreate full championships. As an example, there's a mod that recreates the entire 2022 F1 Championship, including all teams, liveries and tracks, and this mod came out well before the F1 22 game did. Even as I'm making this video now, almost every 2023 F1 car has their livery already modded into the game. Finally, there are mods that sit outside of the category of car and track packs. These Assetto Corsa mods change the base game, adding elements such as weather, new UI, additional gameplay elements and much more. The best news is that a lot of the mods I'm going to show you are free to download and use. These mods are created and driven by the passionate sim racing and AC community and are often updated. As well as this, there are a few premium mods which I'm going to recommend, and these are typically new car packs which add realistic and detailed cars into the game. Installing some of these mods will fundamentally improve Assetto Corsa, completely changing your experience in a good way. Pair these mods with the fact that you can pick up Assetto Corsa for just a few dollars or pounds in 2023, and you've got an incredibly low cost platform to sim race on, which brings hours and hours of fun. So why would you not want to install Assetto Corsa mods? The first mod for Assetto Corsa that I'd always recommend be the first one somebody download is called Content Manager. This mod replaces the entire UI of Assetto Corsa, improving it in almost every possible way. I have to say that one of Assetto Corsa's weakest parts is its original UI. It can be tricky to navigate and looks dated no matter which way you look at it. Content Manager replaces this UI entirely, and you can launch races and sessions directly from Content Manager. When launching events, you can completely customize the grid, the driver AI, choose your car, track, and everything else you need to set before a session. Once you select Launch Session, you'll then be loaded right into the pre-race screen. Content Manager for Assetto Corsa also acts as a fantastic place to manage your other mods, and it allows you to drag and drop mods to install them directly into AC. This saves the often complex process of installing mods by making them accessible to everyone. The final piece of the Content Manager puzzle is that it allows you to access and change core AC settings incredibly easy. There are dedicated settings screens, and these allow you to adjust the settings of mods once you install them. Overall, the Content Manager mod for AC is a complete game changer when it comes to navigating your way through the game. Plus, it's completely free, making it a mod I would always recommend picking up first. For all of these mods, I'll leave links down in the description below so you can click through and download them easily. The next mod that I'm going to recommend is called Custom Shaders Pack, and this is the backbone of implementing new effects, looks and weather into Assetto Corsa. It's required to run Sol, which I'll talk about in a minute, and it can be quickly installed directly from Content Manager. Simply download the zip file from the link below and drag and drop it into Content Manager to install it. This mod will add a host of new settings into AC, so many in fact that it has its own dedicated settings page within Content Manager. Custom Shaders Pack is a complete graphics overhaul. It brings physical weather into AC, allowing for rain to fall and hit your car, but this can trigger your windscreen to get covered in water, requiring wipers to clear it. This mod also adds a complete day and night cycle and introduces weather scheduling. On top of the weather additions, Custom Shaders Pack adds a host of graphical updates, from physical particle effects to new ways to adjust filters and the way Assetto Corsa looks. Much like the other Assetto Corsa mods, Custom Shaders Pack is a mod that I would recommend downloading right away. And that leads me right on to the next mod, which is called Soul, which plays hand in hand with the Custom Shaders patch. Soul is essentially a graphics mod which improves how AC looks while racing. If you've seen any gameplay videos online of Assetto Corsa looking almost photorealistic, chances are they're using the Soul mod to achieve some of that graphical improvement. Now, Soul won't magically make AC look like it's just been released by a major studio, but it will go some of the way to improving the overall realism and look of the game and environments. You'll notice Soul's effect immediately after installing it. In the settings you can select and apply the Soul filters, and these will essentially adjust the way Assetto Corsa looks. It will also add a range of different weather features and filters which will make the game look completely different. You can see here that I'm changing through different weather settings, and it affects all of the weather. You'll see that the real particles are dropping on the windscreen wipers are going, and you can even see thunder and lightning in the distance. Now it's a combination of Soul and Custom Shaders Pack which enables this full realistic weather. So I'd highly recommend downloading them both, and both Soul and Custom Shaders Pack are free to install. The next mod is the first car mod that I'm going to recommend for Assetto Corsa. Once you've established a good baseline of mods including Content Manager, Custom Shaders Pack and Soul, you can start to introduce new cars and tracks into AC. Race Sim Studio is a company that offers some of the very best Assetto Corsa car mods around. One of my favourites is the Formula Hybrid 2022. This mod is incredible as it allows us to race with the new 2022 and 2023 spec Formula 1 car way before we could actually race it in F1 22. The beauty of Assetto Corsa car mods from Race Sim Studio is that they're all incredibly detailed, from the overall car model to the sound and performance of each car. The Formula Hybrid 2022 is a pretty accurate rendition of the 2022 Formula 1 car spec. While it isn't an exact model of each team's car, with individual livery mods you can actually race against a full grid of 2022 or 2023 Formula 1 cars. As you can see here, I'm racing with some of the 2023 liveries, and we're at least a couple of months away from the F1 23 video game. So this is really the only way you can race against a full grid of 2023 Formula 1 cars currently. As well as this 2022 Formula Hybrid car mod, Race Sim Studio also offer a wide range of other mods from historic cars to modern GT cars, and each one is incredibly detailed. Now, next up we have the first track mod that I'm going to recommend. Although calling Targo Florio a track mod is a bit of an understatement. This mod adds the complete 72km Targo Florio course with a few different layouts included. Now Targo Florio was a huge endurance race in the 1970s and before, and it had drivers racing through the Sicilian mountains on public roads. This track is notoriously difficult and takes anywhere from half an hour to over an hour to complete a single lap, depending on which car you're driving. To put this track into perspective, a full loop is over 3.5 times longer than the infamous Nordschleife, and it consists of winding mountain passes, switchbacks, and difficult skinny sections of track. This track in AC is huge, and it provides a real test of car control, especially if attempting it in a high-performing car such as a modern F1 or prototype. And while I'm talking about prototype cars, the next Assetto Corsa mod I'm going to recommend is another car mod. This one is of the incredibly fast Porsche 919 Hybrid Evo, just named a little bit differently to avoid any licensing issues. The Porsche 919 is one of the fastest ever modern race cars, being faster than a modern F1 car, and it currently holds the lap record around the Nordschleife of just 5 minutes and 19 seconds. This is another mod from RSS, and much like the Formula Hybrid 2022, just as much care and attention has gone into this Protech P91 car mod. It's a very accurate recreation of the real world car that it's based on, and the physics and performance have been tailored to be as accurate as possible. This car has 711 horsepower and is capable of 0 to 60 in just 2.2 seconds with a top speed of 230. This is a car that is designed to go incredibly quickly with extreme levels of downforce. So if you're wanting to go super fast in Assetto Corsa, then this mod is for you. Next up, following on from the Porsche 919 Hybrid Evo car mod, I've got another one by Race Sim Studio, and this one is a real doozy. The RSS GT Pack adds 6 new cars to Assetto Corsa, all of which are fire-breathing GT cars from the 1990s and early 2000s. This era of GT cars was possibly one of the very best, with cars having screaming V8, V10 and V12 engines, and being a complete handful to drive fast. This pack of 6 cars includes recreations of the Ferrari 550, the 575, the Dodge Viper GTS R, Saleen S7R and the Lister Storm, as well as the Lambo Murcielago. And while these cars are incredibly raw and just fun to drive, they're also incredibly difficult to control, with many of them being very oversteer happy under acceleration. But these cars are from the golden era of high performance supercars, making them a fantastic throwback and a mod that I'd highly recommend. Next up we have another track mod for Assetto Corsa, and this one is heaven for those that like to drift in AC. Protech Touge is a massive free roam map that consists of 48 kilometers of track. The intention of this mod is to give drifters a free roam paradise to hone their skills and create runs both in single player and online. The map itself consists of various hilltop climbs and descents featuring classic switchbacks and hairpins. There's also a range of flat track to give drifters a wide variety of areas to explore. And the map itself is created to a good level of detail with 3D trees and high quality textures. This is a mod that's certainly worth a shot, giving sim racers and drifters hours upon hours of fun, especially if going sideways is your thing. Next up, we've got a mod that's a little bit different from the others so far. You may have seen some videos online of sim racers driving incredibly fast, weaving in and out of traffic on real roads in Assetto Corsa. The 2 Real mod is the mod that allows these videos to be made. It adds realistic traffic simulation into AC, with up to 1,000 cars being added to a single map, although the developers of this mod do actually recommend lowering that number just for performance stability. There are different speed zones included across this map, with working intersections and traffic lights causing realistic traffic flows. This allows drivers to weave in and out of traffic at whichever speed they prefer, across a map that recreates American roads and highways pretty nicely. This mod is incredibly impressive, especially given the high number of simulated cars that can be included in a session. This mod gives those who like open world games such as Need for Speed and GTA a playground using the much more realistic Assetto Corsa physics engine. The final mod I'm going to recommend for AC isn't a single mod at all, it's actually a collection of mods by a company called SimDream Development. Now they offer a wide variety of AC car mods that span across different motorsport disciplines and include street cars as well. However, the mods I would highly recommend trying out are the many Formula 1 mods. There are plenty of digital recreations of real Formula 1 cars available, and you'll find F1 cars from a wide range of time periods. With this being primarily an F1 orientated sim racing channel, it's no surprise I'm opting for the F1 mods here. Among the mods available are legendary cars from the mid-2000s, including JB's championship winning Brawn car. You'll also find Seb Vettel's Red Bull RB5, various Williams and Renault cars, and even the 2023 Ferrari SF23, which I'm racing here. Now, if you aren't a fan of the F1 22 game, there are recreations of every 2022 Formula 1 car available, allowing you to accurately recreate a full 2022 Formula 1 grid to race against. And I'm sure, given time, we will see every 2023 F1 car added as well. Now, before I call it a day on this video, I do just briefly want to run through how to install Assetto Corsa mods using Content Manager, because it's super simple and it shouldn't be something that people are daunted by at all. As I mentioned earlier in the video, Content Manager completely changes how easy it is to install mods into AC. Content Manager features a very intuitive drag and drop system, which lets those who are less technically minded or find installing mods a daunting task an easy way to install mods. The first step is to download and install Content Manager, which you can download using the link in the description below. To install it, unzip the folder and then just use the exe file to install the mod. After installing, if it's the first time you've installed Content Manager, follow the instructions to correctly set it up. You'll be prompted to do a few things such as locate your Assetto Corsa directory to complete the installation. Next step is to download any of the mods above or any mods on Race Department or anywhere else that you like. Most mods are available with Content Manager's streamlined drag and drop system, and most will include this in the mod description itself. After downloading a compatible mod, simply drag the zip file into Content Manager's UI and let go. You'll see a notification in the top right of the screen in the hamburger menu, which will show the installation process. Once the installation is complete, the mod will be active and ready to use. And then it's just a case of jumping into an Assetto Corsa session and trying the mod out. You don't even need to restart Content Manager. And while I'm touching on where to find mods, one of the very best places to find any Assetto Corsa mod is over at Race Department. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below. Over at Race Department, you'll find thousands and thousands of mods for both Assetto Corsa and other racing games. And you can use the filters to narrow down what you're looking for, from car mods to liveries to track mods and more. There are a huge number of different mods, including complete apps that affect the core Assetto Corsa experience to new cars, liveries, tracks and more. And that's where I'm going to end this video. Hopefully you'll enjoy these mods, and these are some of the very best that are available in 2023, with some of these mods still being actively supported today. Let me know in the comments below which mods you're enjoying, if I've missed any out, missed any of your favourites, and hit that like button and the subscribe button for more sim racing content. But for now guys, I will see you on track.